Can you ask if Braid is selling well enough for the studio not to be stressed? We need to see where... So when a game comes out, it has an initial bump, and then the curve kind of... the curve probably decays indefinitely, right? But it decays rapidly in the beginning, and then it decays very slowly. And then while it's decaying very slowly, that's a pretty reliable income for your company, right? And we just need to see what that is, and it's a little too early. There's also some complicating factors, like the frickin' Nintendo Portal is down. They're like not thinking with portals right now. It's a logarithmic curve usually. I don't know. I've never really fitted the curve. Aside from that curve, actually on a platform like Steam, the majority of your money after launch comes from sales, right? And so like the summer sale and stuff. And so we just also have to see how we do in that. I'll put it this way. We're definitely not sure. It's not like we sold 1 million copies day one or whatever, which is, that's what you expect. It's a remaster, right? And so you don't expect it to be like a new game in terms of the hype level. But we just have to see where it lands. A lot of people are really telling me they appreciate it, and so that's great. Did Braid sell well? No. It has sold horribly. Well, it depends. It depends on what your standards are. Like, it sold well compared to, like if you compare it to like nostalgic things like the Jeff Minter game that's on Steam or like Atari 50. Like, it sold much better than all of those. But it still has sold like dog shit compared to what we need to make for the company to survive. So the future is uncertain. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it hasn't been good. Hasn't been good. Happy with Braid Anniversary sales? No, they've been terrible. They've been utterly terrible. You did buy a copy. Well, thank you for that. Now they are terrible -1. How has Braid Anniversary Edition been doing sales-wise? It's been doing terrible. Did launching on Sony platforms make a big difference? It made a difference, but the problem is most of those platforms are fucking dead now. So Steam is like easily still our biggest platform. And so there would have been something to be said for just not porting to half those platforms. I mean, here's the thing, though. So sales of Braid Anniversary are terrible. It's a really interesting thing that we did. We did commentary in a way that nobody's ever done it, at a much more thorough level than anybody's ever done it. And at some point, you just have to know that what you did was a good thing, even if the world doesn't really acknowledge it. And this is one of those cases, I think. Did I promote the game at fests and cons? No. We didn't. Like, there just isn't that much in the way of good places to do that anymore. And it's also just of not real effectiveness. So, like, when we brought The Witness to conferences, it was not really to promote the game. We did very little of promoting it. It was more about seeing how people interact with the game for us. Braid Skyrim Edition. I mean, that would probably sell some copies. I think we might get a message from some lawyers. Do I think YouTube interviews and podcasts are good game promotion? I mean, most of them aren't, but, like if you get a chance to go on Joe Rogan and talk about your game, I'm sure that'll sell you some copies. I mean, as long as before the podcast you don't get foolish and decide to climb on some slow grooves. PR almost always wants us to do cons. Yeah, I don't think cons have any real value in terms of promotion. I think it's partly, but there is good value to them, right? It's partly that your team gets to see the people that play the game and it makes it more real, right? And it's also just a good deadline. Like, hey, we're going to show this game to people in the public in a month. We got to get all these things looking good and whatever, right? That's a very useful kind of a deadline. So those are the reasons to do that stuff, I think. Promotion, nah. It doesn't really work for promotion. Are anniversary edition sales okay? No, they are bad. They are bad. The whole game industry is having a hard time. How many people working full-time on compiler right now? None. Because we can't afford to pay anyone because the sales are bad.